Welcome to the 5 Minute Creative Podcast. I'm Patrick Smith. It's really January 31st, but it's about 11:30, and I'll probably post this on February 1st. So anyway, what I want to talk a little bit about today is internships. Excuse me, I'm not going to edit these, and I'm trying to do this in one take. We'll see if we can make that happen. So internships. Historically, we've had interns, and with mixed results. Not necessarily the problem of the intern. I put the blame on us because of we just never really had a lot of structure around it. It was kind of like, come on in, we'll find some work for you. Talk to this designer, maybe he's got something for you, and that's no way to have a real internship. So I've held off on doing these for years, but I constantly get requests for them, and excuse me, and I would love to have them. I think it brings some energy to the studio. It's fun to see what other people, to see somebody grow and like the light bulbs turn on kind of thing. So that's kind of the rewarding part of it when it works. But like I said, I've kind of held off on those for a while. But what's changed in the last, I don't know, a few months is we have a relationship with one of the universities here, and we were asked if we wanted to take on an internship. And what was different about this, and what got me excited about it, was they just don't come sit in the office and do work or whatever. They have a project for one of their classes that is the internship, which is great. And so there's some structure around it. Excuse me. And even better, as I've been thinking about having an intern again over the years, it's been like, we need to make an onboarding program for interns, and maybe that's the project for this internship. Would be cool, at least the start of it. There's no way to do the whole thing in one take, but at least we can get it started, and we can cover some of the basic things that you get tired of talking about or reminding an intern, like what's a job number, and make sure the products are in Dropbox, and what's a client folder, and managing workflow and all that stuff. And I don't expect students to really know that stuff, because school is about learning design, not managing workflow, and every agency is a little different, so it's going to be technology changes, whatever. So they're not learning that stuff in there. So that was the purpose of this internship project, was to kind of start the ball rolling on that. So and then today we had a review with the professor, and there was a lot of heat to the student, and then I think towards me too. I can take it. I know where we've been and how this is going, and it's fine. It's fine. I want the student to do well and have a great piece to walk out of her graduation, or put in her portfolio, or whatever it is when she's done. But we're a long ways from that, and a couple things hit me on the car ride home today, and it really has nothing to do specifically with the intern that I have right now. This is just kind of a broad brush. I'm totally stereotyping here, but this is after years of observation, and I was an intern too, so I think everybody was at some point in the design world for a little bit at least. But college seniors, in my opinion, and I guess this is for college students, and then maybe a little bit for studio people that are thinking about having an intern. But college students are, in my opinion, are solely focused on graduating. I got to graduate. I can't wait till I graduate. I want to get done with the school. I kind of go to school forever. I just want to get this over with. I want to get in the real world and start making money. That's the mindset of an overwhelming majority of students. Unfortunately, I think it's a wrong mindset, and because they're so preoccupied with it, the projects are almost just like a consequence, just something that's in the way of them graduating, and they're not overly concerned about them, and it's kind of a check the box kind of thing for them. The assignments, their projects, and then what kind of hit me today was I think lots of times, and this just goes back. I'm not blaming the schools. I just think this is the nature of how some people um, go through school. And I wasn't the best student, by far, but in the design world, if you're a C student in design one, design two, design three, whatever the classes are, the progression, if you're getting C's, that's good enough to pass to the next grade. And in the real world, kind of the wake up call, I think, for seniors in internships is C work in the agency land or design land or whatever you want to call it, the professional world isn't good enough. It just isn't. And so if you're kind of checking the box and doing good enough to get to the next class or next, grade or whatever, um, progression in classes, um, and you start doing, and you're doing C work and you come to do an internship, we're expecting A work out of the gate almost all the time. Yes, we know you're interns. So yes, we have a sliding scale, but in the real world, if you're not doing A work on a consistent basis, and yeah, sometimes you have a bad day and crappy design idea, whatever, something off strategy, that happens to everybody. But in general, if you're not flying on A level on a regular basis, your work doesn't even go into a client presentation. It's not even getting off the wall in the initial creative review. B work, maybe sometimes it'll get in there every once in a while. If we need to fill a hole or, well, this is what the client asked for, that's it's all right, but you got to be doing A stuff all the time. And even if you're doing A stuff, you might not succeed in getting your work produced. So, I mean, this message is for the intern part of it. Is like, or the students. You've gotta be working at a high level from the beginning, and then because you just have to. That's just the way it is. Because if you're doing C work in Agencyville, you're not gonna have a job. You just won't after a while. Nobody's expecting you to hit home runs, on day one, but you got to be hitting some solid singles and some good doubles, and then progress to triples and home runs on a regular basis pretty quick. So that just kind of like hit me today that even in an intern level, if you're not, and I'll go back to the C thing in a minute, or I'll go to it right now actually. If you've got a lot going on in life, or you're busy, or what the life circumstances, whatever, and all you can do is C's to get through school, then hey, sometimes that's what you got to do, right? But if you're not, and unfortunately, what I've seen, if you're getting C's, you're usually not passionate about something. I'm going to get C's in math class. I'm going to get C's in English. I'm going to get C's. I'm going to get C's in those classes just because I just don't care. But if you give me a really good history class or a really good design, I guess, in art class, I want to get an A in these. I because I'm passionate about it, right? So if you're not getting A's, there's a really good chance you probably don't have the passion for this, and that's the other piece that is so critical for interns. And I guess I'm talking to studio people, and they're thinking about it, bringing on an intern and interns or college students themselves. You got to figure out a way how passionate are they, and you could usually tell in their portfolio right off the bat. Excuse me. Pardon me. You've got to have that passion, and it's usually pretty obvious. And sometimes it's not as obvious, but it usually is, and that will at least give you a fighting chance when you get in these internships to excel. So anyway, that's kind of my take is and I'll shut up and kind of end it here. But when these schools are, I'm not trying to blame schools and teachers, but they're allowing C work to go on, and that, I guess, that's part of the school setup. But when it hits the real world, man, there's going to be friction there. And the other piece to it is they go hand in hand is the passion. I understand people have a lot of things going on in life and whatever, but if you want to be a designer, it's a lot of this is a passion, because if you don't love this job, it's really not that great. Like the whole industry is turning into a commodity, and AI is taking away jobs, and and clients have the tools that we used to have the lock on that we don't have. A lot of tools have become democratized. So it's gonna get it's gonna be a dog eat dog world really soon. So I hope these students realize what they're walking into, and if they don't have the passion, it's gonna get it's just it's hard. It's really hard. So that's it. That's a very positive note. So that's my dystopian view of the future of design at the end of a critique on interns. So that's going to be it for today's episode. Thank you for listening. We'll be back soon with some more uplifting topics. All right. Bye for now.